My brothers and sisters, listen to how Elon Musk laughs.
Podcast, I believe. So let's see what Musk has to say.
One of the things you told me
It's crazy.
is what you
It's
call
insane.
magic money computers at the Treasury.
Well,
So tell us about it, because I never heard of that until you brought that up.
okay, so you may think that that the government computers like all talk to each other, they synchronize, they add up what funds are going somewhere, and it's it's coherent. That there's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator, are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
One would think they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic mind computer any computer which can just.
Did you hear how he laughed? Look how he laughs.
Somewhere, and it's it's coherent. That there's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator, are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
One would think they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic money computer any computer which can just make money out of thin air. That's magic money.
So how does that work?
It just issues payments.
And you said there's something like 11 of these computers at Treasury that are sending out trillions in payments?
They're mostly at Treasury. Some are, but there's some at HHS, some at, there's one or two at State.
Look, I'm gonna video him when he laughs now. He laughs like a wicked old lady.
Well, so tell us about it, because I never heard of that until you brought that up.
Okay, so you may think that the government computer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's magic money.
And you said.
Wow. So, I mean, that's just what they found. What they found so far. Is there? It raises into question: is there a paper trail behind all this, behind all these payments, or do they just go off the books?
Yeah, who knows? There's no way to know. I mean, my thought process is, what's the difference between these 14 computers and the Federal Reserve? I mean, dollars themselves are magic money. They're not backed by anything. I guess technically they're backed by the U.S. military.
Yeah, but it just gives the executive branch direct control of the money supply, in effect.
Right. Yeah, it's a. I'm not surprised, and no one should be surprised. But it's super bad. It's really a bad look, and it's. I guess you could say that it puts a big dent in the rule of law, if you will. Because theoretically we're supposed to get real numbers. The United States has always been, the bastion for the world for the rule of law. And I mean, this is just another example that we're full of shit.
And in effect, they're just pulling money out of people's savings account by inflating the dollar that way, right? Because if they're not
pulling dollars out of savings accounts. They're pulling
in effect,
the value of each dollar. Right. Yeah, what they're doing is they're making every dollar that you have in your pocket, in your bank account, with an insurance company, with a broker, or whatever, those dollars are worth less than what we already believe, because we know that there is more money supply than has been stated. And then, Danny, one other thing that I've been keeping an eye on, and I think a lot of people have been watching, has been the movement of gold and silver into the COMEX. Last week alone, there was something like 543 tons of silver in 5 days